Okay guys, in this video, I'm going to name my top 5 free agents that I think the Knicks should consider signing this offseason. Now, the Knicks are over the salary cap, so the most they can offer a free agent is a starting salary of about $12 million a year, which is the non-taxpayer mid-level exception. That's not enough to sign one of the top free agents, but that should be enough to get themselves a good bench piece. So I'm going to try to be as realistic as possible when I name these players. The first player I'm going to discuss is Alec Burks. Alec Burks should be a familiar name to Knicks fans because he was a big part of that Knicks team that made the playoffs back during the 2020-21 season. Now, the Knicks ended up trading Alec Burks at the end of the year, so that way they could create cap space for the Jalen Brunson signing, but he ended up having a productive year in Detroit this season, averaging 13 points per game, and he could help the Knicks out in a multitude of areas. One way he could help the Knicks out is shooting. The Knicks were a top 5 offense, but they were really bad at shooting the long ball. They only ranked 24th in the regular season in three-point percentage and dead last in the postseason in three-point percentage. And Alec Burks hit 41% from deep last year, so that's a big area where he can help out the Knicks. He could also help out the Knicks' second unit. Alec Burks is still a pretty good scorer and ball handler, and the Knicks really needed that in the Miami series. Emmanuel quickly was a 6th Man of the Year candidate in the regular season, but he fell off a cliff in the playoffs, and that really hurt the Knicks in that second round Miami Heat series. The Knicks were a -17 net rating when Jalen Brunson was on the bench, and it was really clear that the Knicks couldn't survive the non-Jalen Brunson minutes. That's why he played the entirety of Game 5 and damn near the entirety of Game 6. And even in the 2 minutes that they gave Jalen Brunson a breather, they got immediately blitzed by Miami. So having a player of Alec Burks' caliber that could score and facilitate for the second unit could make a massive difference. So I think Alec Burks would be a really nice addition for the Knicks this summer. The next player on this list I'm going to mention is Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder is a veteran that's been helping out contending teams for years now. He was on that Miami Heat team that made the finals in the 2020 Orlando bubble. He was a starter on that Phoenix Suns team that made the finals in 2021. He didn't play for the Suns this year because he was unhappy that he didn't get an extension, but then he ended up getting traded to the Bucks, and he gave them some solid minutes as well. And for the Knicks, I think he could give them some really nice 3-and-D production. Jay Crowder is a wing that can hit the 3 ball at a high percentage, and he's also a big wing defender at 6'7" with a lot of experience at guarding elite players in the playoffs. The Knicks could definitely use a 3-and-D player like that in their rotation, especially in a tough Eastern Conference where you have to go up against superstar wing players like Jason Tatum and like Jimmy Butler. So I think Jay Crowder could be a really nice addition to the Knicks' second unit. The next player I'm going to mention is Dennis Smith Jr. Now, Knicks fans, before you click off the video, at least hear me out for just a second. Now, we all know DSJ was a huge bust for the Knicks. He was the main piece they got in the Porzingis trade, and he didn't pan out at all, but he revived his career in Charlotte this season when it looked like he was going to be out the league. Now, you're not going to walk away impressed if you just look at his stats, 9 points, 5 assists per game. But he was much better than what those numbers would indicate, and he improved a lot of the holes in his game. He was once a horrible defender. He became one of Charlotte's best defenders this season. His playmaking improved, and he became a lot better at limiting turnovers. So for the Knicks, I think he could be a nice addition to the second unit. He would be a nice fit next to guys like Josh Hart and Obi Toppin that love to run hard in transition, because DSJ is still very athletic, can still push the ball and run the fast break. In the half court, he can still break down the defense at will and create for his teammates. And I think he would be a nice fit in that second unit backcourt next to Emmanuel quickly. I wouldn't give him the full $12 million mid-level exception, but I would give him at least a veteran minimum contract, and I think he will be the perfect example of a low-risk, high-reward signing. If he doesn't work out, you could just cut him, but if he does work out, he could have a breakout season and improve the team. The fourth player I'm going to mention on this list is Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent has become a quality role player on a Miami Heat team that's now in the finals. He's averaging 13 points and 4 assists per game over this playoff run, and Knicks fans should know firsthand that he's good because he cooked them in the playoffs. He had 20 points in game 1 and 21 points in game 2. He's a quality point guard that can create for himself and create for others, and he's a knockdown shooter. He's hitting 39% of his threes in the playoffs. So for the Knicks, he could be a quality backup point guard behind Jalen Brunson. And the last player I'm going to mention on this list is Russell Westbrook. Now, Russell is a player that has been the butt of many jokes over the past couple of years. His time with the Lakers was an absolute disaster, but he revived his career on the Clippers. He was a really nice fit alongside Kawhi and Paul George, and he really went off in the playoffs, averaging 24 points and 7 assists per game in that Clippers-Suns series. So for the Knicks, again, he would be a really nice backup point guard behind Jalen Brunson in my opinion. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the list. Were there any other players that I didn't mention that you would like to sign? Tell me in the comments. Guys, if you enjoyed part 2 of this series, I know you're going to love part 1 where I mentioned 5 other players that the Knicks should consider signing in the offseason. Guys, the offseason is right around the corner, and I'm going to be uploading Knicks content all offseason long. So you're going to want to make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss a single video. Thanks for watching, and have an amazing rest of your day, guys.